We are very proud of our record and our history of policing those major events, and we've done pretty much everything here.
Everything changes all the time, nothing stays the same, as reality.
Having police officers in Cardiff, around the stadium and within the stadium is a massive reassurance for the public.
The threat of terrorism is no longer just a threat, it's a reality.
There's a single factor which we focus on, and that's the safety of the public, both within the stadium and around those stadia, before the game and after the game. As those events have got bigger over the years, then the complexity has got greater, and the requirements upon the police, learning from issues in the past, not least Hillsborough and other issues and tragedies along the way, have meant that we've got a very sophisticated and systematic way of commanding those events.
A huge amount of the work actually takes place before the event itself. The planning for the event will start some months before. Naturally, a lot of the events that take place within our region, we've got a lot of learning we've built up because we run in regular events at places like the Principality Stadium. What has changed of note in recent years is naturally the threat of terrorism, which has manifested itself across the world and put a different focus on crowded places and large events. We've seen the introduction and more focus on things like the SECO, the security coordinator role, who's got responsibility for having a look at all the security issues and making recommendations that I need to factor in my plans.
So we carefully consider the nature of the resources that we need to deliver an event such as today. You will see high visibility resources that are very clearly overt. There will also be covert resources behind that who have a function to fulfill. Those officers will have lots and lots of skills. You'll see firearms officers who are there to act as reassurance for people who are attending the event. There is no specific intelligence targeting this event. However, we have to be alive of what events are currently in the world, and they are there as a reassurance but also as a deterrent. They're forward deployed to respond to an incident if they need to. They're very well trained, they're well briefed, and if they need to respond, they will. I can't overemphasize really the importance of buy-in from partners and working with them. That's the important thing to note, that we do very much work hand in glove with them, with the Council of Cardiff, with the stadium in this particular case. Because an event like this has a significant impact on the city. You will see pre-kick-off road closures going on sometimes 3.5 hours before, and that has an impact. That has an impact on the economy, on local businesses. And it's very important that together with the council we ensure that those people are engaged with and everybody knows exactly what the plan of action is cometh the hour.
As soon as we get an expression of interest from the promoter, we'll get the police involved straight away. Each event comes with its own particular challenges, both for us and for the police, so that early level of planning is very important in what we do. The police are hugely important for us on any event here at the stadium, both internally on the search lines and turnstiles, supporting our own stewards, and also externally with a multitude of assets that they deploy on an event-by-event basis.
Throughout my whole career in South Wales Police, which has been over 30 years, we've always policed sports events. Back in the day when I was a PC, there weren't many armed officers who would be involved with policing events. However, today, both before games, during and after, there are visible armed officers in and around the stadia, within the town centres, and anybody who's been recently to a game at Cardiff and Swansea will have seen those officers supporting unarmed officers throughout the city and around the stadium. Clearly, as we go forward, that focus on public safety is the #1 issue for us, and that public safety requirement, whilst it's a partnership in the stadium with the stadium management, we also have the considerations of the town and city centre. For those events, as you can imagine, 75,000 people can get in the Principality Stadium. Many more come to Cardiff just to be as a part of the atmosphere, and that can be double the actual number of people within the stadium. So we can have 150, 160,000 people in the Cardiff vicinity on a day of a rugby game or on a major event.
I've policed a lot of events in Cardiff over the years, back to the time when Wembley Stadium was being built and we had to host the FA Cup here, and I know the experience that visitors coming into Cardiff have and see Cardiff as a fantastic place to come in, and there's a number of reasons for that. It's really set up well in terms of where the stadium is, the city centre, the late night economy. It's all very much on the footprint and is a really good experience to people coming into the city centre, but importantly our policing style really contributes to that, and we've got an excellent reputation around that, where we are seen as a very professional organisation that's welcoming, friendly, and provides a lot of assistance coming to people within the city centre. So, and I'm not just saying that, that's really echoed by the comments. If you're out and about filming in the city centre today, you'll see that, you'll see people saying it, and we'll put pen to paper and write to us to tell us about that at the end of the event as well.
Potentially, people will come, enjoy the event, go home again without really getting an understanding of some of the work and the planning that has to go into safely delivering an event such as this. If they do go to work on Monday morning and have no perception of that planning, that's a good thing, because it means they've come, they've enjoyed, they've gone home safely, and they've had no reason to think anything of it. So I would welcome that, but what's not lost on anybody involved in an operation such as this is the level of detail and planning that we go into, so the public should feel reassured by that.